Hi everyone, welcome to Career Talks. In this video, we will analyze the PIV of 27th December 2020, and if you want the PDF of this video, you can get it from the description box. ओके तो जो सबसे हमारी पहली PIV है वो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ माइक्रो स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस ने रिलीज की है। जो हमारा GS1 का सिलेबस है यूपीएससी मेंस का इंडियन हेरिटेज एंड कल्चर हिस्ट्री एंड जियोग्राफी ऑफ द वर्ल्ड एंड सोसाइटी उसे कवर करती है। हमारा जो पहला PIV वो है KYC brings alive 1000-year-old Monpa handmade paper. Okay, so old Monpa hand paper actually में है क्या? It is an old heritage art of Arunachal Pradesh which was driven into a extinction. But with the efforts of KVIC, Khadi and Village Industry Commission, it has come to life once again. Okay, before 1000 year ago, once produced in every household, and this was the major source of livelihood for the locals. Okay, for what is the reason of extension of this Monpa handmade paper, we will discuss here. Okay, so firstly we will talk about the Monpa handmade paper. What is it? So it is the fine textured handmade paper which is called Mon Shugu in the local dialect, and it is the paper used for writing Buddhist scriptures and the hymns in monasteries. Okay, and the handmade paper is made up of bark of local tree called Shugu Shang, and which has a medicinal values too. Okay, note that the availability of raw material will not be the problem. Okay, बहुत सारे जो हमारे जो पुरानी ओल्ड हेरिटेज आर्ट्स हैं वो एक्सटेंशन के मेन रीजन होते हैं रॉ मटेरियल की अवेलेबिलिटी ना होने से, बट यहाँ पर जो मोनाका हैंडमेड पेपर है उसका एक्सटेंशन का रीजन कुछ और था, उसे हम डिस्कस करते हैं। ओके, बिफोर 1000 year ago there is a scale of production that Monapa used to sell these type of the paper to countries like Tibet, Bhutan, Thailand and Japan, where no paper making industry existed at that time. But however, the local industry gradually become declining because of the paper was taken over by the inferior Chinese paper. Okay, this is the main reason of the extension of Monpa's handmade paper. Okay, but our Indian government attempt for the revival of this handmade paper industry, uh, but it was failed because of the geographical challenges and the mountainous task in the Tawang region. But however, with the strong resolve of higher management of KVIC, the unit was successful. Okay. Apart from the handmade paper, Taiwan is also known for local crafts. Two local crafts. Which one is handmade pottery and the handmade furniture. But that are also getting extinct with the passage of time. Okay. And अब यहाँ पर हम मोनपा ट्राइब के बारे में देख लेते हैं कि मोनपा ट्राइब एक्चुअली में है क्या, उनके कल्चर क्या है, रिलीजन क्या है। ओके, तो मोनपा पीपल, मोनपा is a major tribe of Arunachal Pradesh in northeastern India, and the Tawang Monpas have a migration history from Charoland. Okay, the Monpa are believed to be a nomadic tribe, only a nomadic tribe in the northern India, and they are totally dependent on animals like sheep, cow, yak, goat, and horses. Okay. Then, what is their language? Their language are Tibeto-Burman languages written with the Tibetan alphabets. Most of the Monpas live in the Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh with the population around 60,000, centered in the district of Tawang and West Kamang, and around 25,000 Monapas live in the Tibetan Autonomous region of China, in Kona country, and etc. तो आप देख सकते हैं जो पॉपुलेशन का जो स्ट्रेंथ है वो हमारे इंडिया में in the state of Arunachal Pradesh ज़्यादा है. Okay, so what is the religion of that tribe? Okay, the Monpa are generally the adherent of Gelug sect of Tibetan Buddhism. Okay, which they adopted in the 17th century as a result of the influence of Bhutanese educated Marang Lama. Okay. Okay, what is the language? The language spoken by the Monapa people are often referred to as the Monapa language, but this is not the genealogical term because several quite different languages are subsumed under it. Monapa languages included Howawa, East Bodies, and Taslang languages. Okay, so most of the Monapa tribe, कुछ tribes हैं जो Monapa languages बोलती हैं, and कुछ ऐसी हैं कि जो another language जो their language are Tibeto-Burman. Okay. Then what are the culture? of that Monpa people. Monpa are known for wood carving, Thangka painting, carpet making, and weaving. They manufactured paper from the pulp of local Sukso tree. Okay, a painting press can be found in the Tamang monastery, where many religious books are printed on local paper and wooden blocks, usually meant for literature. Monpa Lamas, who used it for their personal correspondence and religious rituals. Okay, they are also known for their wooden baubles, wooden bowls, and the bamboo weaving. Okay, so these are the culture of the Monpa people and language and the religions. Then what is the society of that tribe? Okay, the traditional society of Monpa was administered by the council, which consists of six ministers, locally known as Trogdari, and the member of this council was known as a Kanpo, which literally means the abbot of Tabong, and the lamas also held a respectable positions, which consist of two monks known as Natsangs and two others Dozong Peng. Okay, the man is the head of the family and he is the one who take all the decisions. In his absence, his wife takes over all the responsibilities. When a child born, there is a no restrict preference for a boy and girl. Okay, तो इस तरह की उनकी hope, इस तरह की उनकी society थी that there were no restrictions on preference for boy and girl. Hope होप यू गेट द पॉइंट. देन जो हमारी सेकंड जो पीआईबी है वो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ जल शक्ति ने रिलीज की है, दैट इज ईयर एंड रिव्यू, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ वाटर रिसोर्सेज, रिवर डेवलपमेंट, गंगा रिजर्वेशंस, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ जल शक्ति. ओके, सो यहाँ पर जो ईयर एंड रिव्यू है इसमें मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ जल शक्ति ने जितनी भी स्कीम्स है उससे 1 ईयर में कितना डेवलपमेंट हुआ है उन सारी स्कीम्स को यहाँ पर बताई गई है कि उन स्कीम्स में कितने डेवलपमेंट हुए. तो सबसे पहली स्कीम है वो National Mission for Clean Ganga. Okay, so NMCG has completed the 22 projects and sanctioned and 17 new projects related to sewage infrastructure, ghat, crematoria, pollutant abatement, afforestation, biodiversity, etc. in 2020. Apart from this, our Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone for riverfront development scheme under the Namami Gange in Muzaffarpur, and three ghats, namely East Akra Ghat, Siddhi Ghat, and the Chandwara Ghat of Muzaffarpur city will be developed under this scheme. Okay, and note that for the first time the Namami Gange has been included under the Prime Minister Award for Excellence for Public Administration scheme for reorganizing the efforts of district level officials. Okay, the second National Ganga River Basin project, Ganga 2, was approved by the World Bank Board on 25 June 2020 as a $400 million, and the Department of Economic Affairs and Government of India and the World Bank signed a loan agreement on the 7th July. Okay, so these are the development जो हमारे नेशनल मिशन फॉर क्लीन गंगा में हुए हैं. अब हम नेशनल मिशन ऑफ क्लीन गंगा देखते हैं कि उसमें क्या है, एंड देन उसके बाद नमामि गंगे के बारे में हम रीड करेंगे. तो सबसे पहले नेशनल मिशन फॉर क्लीन गंगा that was implemented by the National Council for Reservation Protection and Management of River Ganga, which is also known as National Ganga Council, and this mission was established in 12th August 2011 under the Society Registration Act 1860 as a registered society. Okay, so National Mission for Clean Ganga under National Ganga Council is supported by the state level program management group in the state of Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Bihar, Jharkhand, and West Bengal, and it is the initiative that taken by the government to address the pollution of River Ganga by providing a financial and technical assistance. Okay, what are the objective of National Mission for Clean Ganga? NMCG focuses on pollution reduction interventions, including interceptions, diversion, and treatment of wastewater that flow through the open drains. Okay, and its aim to reduce pollution through bioremediation, in-situ treatment, pioneering technology, sewage treatment plant, and effluent treatment plant. Okay, let's talk about another schemes initiative towards clean Ganga. The first initiative is Ganga Action Plan, which was announced in 1985 by the Ministry of Environment and Forest, and this was the first river action plan that was introduced for the improvement of water quality through interception and treatment of domestic sewage. Okay, then the second one initiative is National River Conservation Plan, and this conservation plan was developed as the extension for Ganga National Action, and with an aim to cover all the major rivers of India. Okay, and the third one is a government cleanup campaign, which was started in 2010 to prevent the entry of untreated municipal sewage or industrial runoff into the river. Okay, and the most important initiative, that is the National River Ganga Basin Authority. Okay, that was controlled by our Prime Minister of India. The National River Ganga Basin Authority was formed under Section 3 of the Environment Protection Act 1996 by the government in 2009, and it declared the Ganga as the national river of India. That's the main point here, that the which act or which authority declared the Ganga as the national river. So the National River Ganga Basin Authority declared it, but you must know that the NRGBA are replaced by the National Ganga Council. Okay, so here we talk about National Ganga Council. It replaces the National Ganga River Basin Authority, created in October 2016 under the River Ganga Regeneration, Protection and Management Authorities Order 2016, and dissolving the National Ganga River Basin Authority. And National Ganga Council headed by the Prime Ministers. Okay, NGCC would have boards the CM of 5 Ganga Basin state, which are Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, and West Bengal, and beside several union minister, it was supposed to meet once in every year. Okay. Then what is about? Let's talk about the Namami Ganga program. What is Namami Ganga program? Namami Ganga Yojana is implemented by the National Mission for Clean Ganga along with its state program management groups. Okay. Namami Ganga aims to reduce the pollution of River Ganga along with conservation and rejuvenation of river banks. So what are the main pillars of Namami Gange? That is sewage treatment infrastructure and industrial effluent monitoring, development of river front as well as river surface cleaning, biodiversity, afforestation and public awareness. Okay. सो सो जो हमारी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ जल शक्ति है, उन्होंने नेशनल क्लीन मिशन के बारे में इतने डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स बताए हैं. देन उसके बाद उन्होंने एक अनदर टॉपिक के बारे में बात की है, वो है पोलावरम इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट. ओके, सो व्हाट इज इट? Let's discuss this. Polavaram irrigation project is a multi-purpose one conferring irrigation that benefit the upland area of Visakhapatnam, East Godavari, West Godavari, and Krishna districts. Okay, this irrigation project envisages a drinking water supply to Visakhapatnam township and other town villages, enrooted and industrial water supply to Visakhapatnam post-based steel plant and other industries. Okay, then what is the necessity of this project? Okay, so हम कुछ एस्पेक्ट्स यहाँ पर देखेंगे कि जो ये प्रोजेक्ट है उसकी नेसेसिटी क्यों है. तो सबसे पहला एस्पेक्ट है इरिगेशन एस्पेक्ट. उसमें Andhra Pradesh is predominantly an agriculture state with over 51.58% of income being generated through the agriculture. But out of the 11.4 million hectare of net area, only 3.34 million hectare area is irrigated area under canals, tanks, and wells, and the area under assured sources of irrigation in Godavari and Krishna is about 0. million hectare. So this is the main reason, because out of 11.49 million hectare, only 3.34 million hectare is irrigated. ओके, एंड यहाँ पर कुछ डेम्स के नाम दिए हुए हैं जिन्होंने कितना क्राइटेरिया जो है, कितना जो लैंड है वो कवर करती हैं. जैसे नागार्जुना सागर प्रोजेक्ट जो कृष्णा रिवर पे है is expected to serve about 0.8 million hectare of land in Nagalonda, Guntur and Praxam district, and the Siram Sagar project on river जो गोदावरी पे है, after the compilation of stage 2 will serve an area of 0.7 million hectare. Okay, so यहाँ पर कंसर्न क्या है? कंसर्न ये है कि the upland area situated in the district of East Godavari and Visakhapatnam on the left bank and the upland of West Godavari and Krishna district on the right flank have no other sources of dependable supply except the Godavari river, and these are the when the failure of rain result in the frequent drought and distress conditions, and that is the necessity of the Polavaram project. Okay, अब power aspects में देखते हैं. Power aspects में क्या है? Andhra Pradesh is the 5th largest state in India and 4th in population. It has a vast industrial potentialities by the way of abundance of raw material and human resources. apart from its central situation and accessibility to important industrial areas and the many important ports and having a big cities. Okay, यहाँ पर जो आंध्र प्रदेश है उसकी जो रैंक है have a fifth largest state in the world and fourth in the population. It have a wide variety of industrial potentialism. Okay, but the estimated hydropower potential of the state is about 3000 megawatt and the utilization is hardly 1652.9 megawatt. That's one of the main reason is to for the necessity of Polavaram project. By the Polavaram irrigation project, 960 megawatt of the seasonal power during monsoon and 80 megawatt as of firm power can be generated through the Polavaram project. Okay, then okay, then the power aspects के बाद flood control में flood in the Godavari are causing damages to the standing crops and loss of property and cattle. So the flood of is recent flood जो floods के जो causes हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा जो बढ़ रहे हैं which harm a loss of property. That's why Polavaram irrigation project, the river can tamed and flow regulated before the river and enters the plain by beyond the Polavaram and recurring flood havoc can be mitigated. Okay, so flood control करने के लिए एक तरीके से ये पोलावरम इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट हेल्पफुल है. सो अभी का जो प्रेजेंट प्रपोजल्स जो है वो क्या है? द प्रेजेंट पोलावरम इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट इज मॉडिफाइड प्रपोजल ऑफ रामप्रदेशकेट प्रोजेक्ट. ओके, तो आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि जो मॉडिफाइड जो पोलावरम प्रोजेक्ट इज द मॉडिफाइड proposal of the Rampadagas project and the site now is situated 2.0 km upstream of the original Rampada Sagar project. Okay, सॉरी यहाँ पर ये रैम्पटा सागर है, यहाँ पर टी है एक्चुअली में, यहाँ पर एक्चुअली में आर होगा. ओके, and it gives a major boost to tourism sector in Godavari district as the reservoir covers the famous Papikonda National Park. Okay, and National Waterways 4 RAE and the Polavaram Hydroelectric Project and National Waterway 4 are in under constructed at left side of the river. Okay, then हम river गोदावरी के बारे में यहाँ पर देख लेते हैं. The river Godavari is one of the largest river in India, being the second largest in the Indian Union. It run across from Western Ghat to Eastern Ghat. The Godavari rises in the Western Ghat at Nasik and which is the northeast of the Bombay. After the descending the Western Ghat, it takes a southeasterly courses across the southern part of Indian Peninsula and falls into the Bay of Bengal. Okay. What are the main tributaries of Godavari? These are Manjira, Prahinta, Indravati and Saveri. Prahinta is in its turn formed by the confluence of Vardha, Penganga and Vaniganga. So the another tributary of Godavari is Vardha, Penganga and Vaniganga. And out of the average annual flow of river, nearly 40% contributed by the Prahinta. Then 20% contributed to Indravati to Godavari river and 10% by the Sabri. Okay, as per the Bachawat Commission reports 1979, the dependable annual flow in the river is 71.0. Okay, and the utilization for the existing ongoing project as of 1970 is hardly 16.83. Okay, आपको ये जो रिपोर्ट है ये आपको याद रखनी है कि किस चीज के लिए दी गई थी. Okay, then another talk by a ministry, that is dam rehabilitation improvement project phase second and phase third. Okay, यहाँ पर India ranks third globally after China and USA with the 5,334 large dams in operation and about 411 dams are under construction. Okay, यहाँ पर इंडिया के अचीवमेंट्स के बारे में बताया गया है. ओके, अब हम यहाँ पर इंटर स्टेट डिस्प्यूट देखेंगे जो पीआईबी में बताई गई है. जो पेनियार और जो पोनियार रिवर डिस्प्यूट जो चल रही है, द वाटर डिस्प्यूट बिटवीन द तमिलनाडु एंड कर्नाटक ओवर द पेनियार रिवर. ओके, सो द रिवर ऑफ जो पेनियार रिवर है विच ओरिजिनेट्स एट द नंदी हिल्स इन चिक्काबल्लापुरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट एंड फ्लोज थ्रू तमिलनाडु and has become a bone of contention as the Karnatakans constructing a check dam on that river. ओके, सो पोनियार रिवर के बारे में हम पढ़ लेते हैं. द साउथ पेनार रिवर इज अ ट्रांसबाउंडरी रिवर ऑफ इंडिया आउटस्कर्ट्स ऑफ बैंगलोर, Hosur, Tirunelveli, Kodalur are the important city on the bank of this river. Okay, the river originated in Nandi Hills in the Chikkabalpura district of Karnataka and flow through Tamil Nadu before emptying into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, इस river पे इस river कुछ कुछ छोटे छोटे डैम्स बने हुए हैं. Small dams of Kelavapalli and Krishnagiri dam are built across this river near the Hosur in Krishnagiri. The largest dam on this river is Santur Dam, and the mentioning of the river is found in Sangam and the medieval Thevaram Bhakti cult era, which is in literature, where it is depicted as rich with a lush vegetation on its banks. Okay, there are various temples on its bank, and it irrigates Krishnagiri, Dharampuri, and Tirunavelmalai, Vijupuram, and Kodalur district, and empties into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, and this river is not a perennial river because the river is now looted for its rich availability of sand, and the water flow will be on in the monsoon season, and the river is dry in the remaining parts of the year. Okay, then let's talk about the Atul Bhujal Yojana. What is it? So Atul Bhujal Yojana is a central sector scheme of the government of India with an outlay of 6,000 crore with the focus on the sustainable groundwater management and identifying or support the water restricted area of 7 states in the country, that is Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, and Uttar Pradesh. And this scheme is partly funded by the World Bank, which was launched by the PM of our India on 2019. Okay, the unique scheme aimed at increasing the capacity of state to manage their groundwater resources and for ensuring their long-term sustainability. Okay, the second point is Atul Bhujal Yojana is expected to improve groundwater conditions in target area and to contribute significantly to ensure groundwater sustainability. And this scheme is also expected to contribute the Prime Minister goal of doubling farmer income and to result in optimal use of groundwater by the stockholder in long run. Okay. देन नॉर्थ कोल रिजर्वायर प्रोजेक्ट यहाँ पर दिया है. यहाँ पर हम इस रिवर के बारे में देखेंगे एंड देन प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में देखेंगे. जो नॉर्थ कोल रिवर है फ्लोज फ्रॉम इंडियन स्टेट ऑफ झारखंड. नॉर्थ कोल राइजेस फ्रॉम द छोटा नागपुर प्लेट्यू एंड इंटर्स लतेपुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट एंड इट फॉल्स इनटू द सोन रिवर. नॉर्थ कोल along its tributary passed through the northern part of Betla National Park, and the principal tributary is Auranga Amanat, which join it from the east side, and another tributary is Barha, which joins the North Col above the Kutku at Bekchandba. Okay, North Col project is being implemented at Mandal near Kutku. The project would cover 56 villages, of which 8 are within the core area of Palamau Tiger Reserves. Okay, then the important committees that that sharing the Ganga River at Farakka, that is India Bangladesh Joint Committee. Okay, सो यहाँ पर जो गंगा की जो ट्रीटी थी इंडिया और बांग्लादेश को वहाँ पर डिस्कस की गई है कि द गंगा ट्रीटी बिटवीन इंडिया एंड बांग्लादेश इज एन एग्रीमेंट टू शेयर सरफेस वाटर एट फरक्का बैरेज near their mutual order. But the treaty, which was signed in 1996, divides water flow without sharing the value and uses of the river between two countries. It is a bilateral treaty was signed by the Indian Prime Minister H.D. Devegowda and the Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina Wajid on 1996. Okay, on 1996, and the treaty established a 30-year water sharing arrangement and recognized Bangladeshi right as a lower level riparian. Okay, यहाँ पर जो रिकॉग्निशन दिया गया है बांग्लादेशियों को राइट एज अ लोअर लेवल रिपेरियन. यहाँ पर रिपेरियन क्या होता है बता देता हूँ. रिपेरियन जोन एक्चुअली में रिपेरियन जोन और रिपेरियन एरिया इज द इंटरफेस बिटवीन लैंड एंड a river or a stream. Okay, so riparian zone are important in ecology, environmental resource management, civil engineering because of their role in soil conservation, their habitat biodiversity, and they influence their fauna and aquatic ecosystem, including grassland, woodlands, wetlands, and etc. Okay, then हमारी जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ जल शक्ति, उन्होंने कैडम कैडम विंग के बारे में डिस्कस किया दैट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज इम्प्लीमेंटिंग अ स्कीम कॉल्ड कमांड एरिया डेवलपमेंट वाटर मैनेजमेंट अंडर अंडर प्रधानमंत्री कृषि सिंचाई योजना, and the scheme launched with an aim to enhance the physical access of water on farm and expand a cultivable area अंडर assured irrigation. ओके, सो हमारा ये था हमारे जो GS1 में जो चीज़ कवर हो रही थी, जो सिलेबस कवर होता है। देन हमारे जो GS2 GS3 का जो सिलेबस है टेक्नोलॉजी फ्रॉम, उसके अंदर कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो इस PIB में रिलीज है, जो हमारा उसको कवर करती हैं। सबसे पहले ये है कि प्रधानमंत्री टू फ्लैग ऑफ 100th किसान रेल ऑन 28 दिसंबर। तो हम यहाँ पर किसान रेल के बारे में पढ़ लेते हैं। द फर्स्ट किसान रेल वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड फ्रॉम देवलाली टू दानापुर on 7 August 2020, which was further extended up to Muzaffarpur. As a result of a good response from the farmer, its frequency was also increased from weekly to 3 day. Okay, Kisan Rail has been a game changer in ensuring a fast transportation of agriculture produce across the nation. Okay, so Kishan Railway is a multi commodity train service which carry a vegetables such as flour, capsicum, cabbage, and etc. without and having a permission to all en route stoppage with a no bar on size of consignment. Okay, the government of India has extended a subsidy of 50% on the transportation of fruits and vegetables. Okay, then the second जो हमारी PIB वो sovereign gold bonds पे है, तो हम इस पे डिस्कस कर लेते हैं। sovereign gold bond scheme was introduced in Union Budget of 2015 and assisted by the Union Cabinet, which was chaired by PM Narendra Modi. And why it is launched? It's launched to reduce the demand of physical gold. Okay, so what is gold bond? Gold bond is an initiative taken by Government of India with the accordance of RBI to reduce the demand of physical gold, as increasing the import of gold is affecting the growth and investment of the country. Okay, so यहाँ पर कुछ पॉइंट्स हैं sovereign gold के बारे में। So sovereign gold bond scheme thus aiming at investing these physical gold into financial saving through the gold bonds. अगर आपके पास कोई physical gold अगर जैसे घर पे है या फिर कहीं है, तो आप उसको एज अ वो आप उसे इन्वेस्ट करके टू गेट जैसे आप उसे इन्वेस्ट करेंगे देन यू गेट अ गोल्ड बॉन्ड्स, एंड ये एक तरह की आपकी फाइनेंशियल सेविंग होगी। सो इसलिए गवर्नमेंट ने सॉवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड स्कीम को चालू किया। द टेनर ऑफ दिस गोल्ड बॉन्ड इज 8 ईयर विच कैन बी कैंसल्ड प्रीमेचुरली आफ्टर 5 ईयर्स। जो गवर्नमेंट की जो स्कीम्स पे जो गोल्ड बॉन्ड्स की जो टेनर है 8 ईयर्स है, लेकिन आफ्टर 5 ईयर्स आप इसे कैंसिल कर सकते हैं। यू कैन गेट दी financial benefit. Okay, sovereign gold bond scheme was launched under the gold monetization scheme in the year of 2015. Okay, the gold monetization scheme was introduced to replace the existing gold deposit scheme of 1997. Sorry, 1999. The scheme facilitates the gold depositor to earn interest of 2.25 annually for a short term deposit of 1 year to 3 year. Okay, सो इसको कौन कौन लोग जो है कितनी जो पर्सन है वो एलिजिबल है, तो यहाँ पर डिस्क्रिप्शन पे द दिया हुआ है कि द sovereign gold bond can be applied by the individual falling under the following categories as per the Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1999. An individual must be an Indian resident to meet the eligibility criteria under the gold bond scheme. Okay, any individual, association, trust, or HUFS having an Indian residency is eligible to invest in the sovereign gold bond scheme, and they can also jointly invest in these gold bonds as the eligibility criteria of the schemes. Okay, what are the benefits of the sovereign gold bond scheme? The gold bonds can be available either in paper or demat format. The scheme also provides flexible investment, and the interest provided from the gold bond is 2.50 per annum. Sovereign gold bond have a tenure of 8 years and can be withdrawn after the prematurity of 5 years. The gold bond invested by the investor can be gifted or transferred to others who are eligible under these schemes, and they can also trade this bond on the stock exchanges subject to the notification of RBI. Okay, these gold bond can purchase through multiple payments such as checks, cash, DDs, and electronic transfers. Note that the bond will be sold through scheduled commercial banks, stock holding corporations banks, designated post office, except small finance bank and payment banks. Okay, then the another PIB, that is the Rajasthan becomes the sixth state to complete ease of doing business reforms. Okay, यहाँ पर दिया हुआ है कि Rajasthan has become the sixth state in the country to successful undertake ease of doing business reform. Okay, which was stipulated by the Department of Expenditure, Ministry of Finance. And the Rajasthan, the state has become to eligible to mobilize additional financial resources. So before Rajasthan, there are the five other states which complete ease of doing business reforms. That is Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, who have achieved this feat. Okay, ease of doing business is an important indicator of investment friendly business, and improvement in the ease of doing business will enable the faster growth of the state economy. Okay, note that there are the 10 states that have implemented the one nation one card system, and the 6 states have done ease of doing business reforms, and 2 states have done local body reforms. Okay, then uh, then another PIV, that is PM to inaugurate India's first ever driverless train operation on Delhi Metro Magenta line on 20th December. Okay, so the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, will inaugurate India first ever driverless train operation on Delhi Metro Magenta line from Janakpuri West to Botanical Garden. And this innovation will herald a new era of traveling comfort and enhanced mobility. And the driverless train will be fully automated and will eliminate the possibility of human error. After the start of driverless service on Magenta line, the pink line of Delhi Metro is expected to have a driverless operation by the mid of 2021. So आपको आपको यहाँ पर ध्यान देना है कि जो इंडिया फर्स्ट एवर ड्राइवरलेस ट्रेन ऑपरेशन विल बी स्टार्ट ऑन द not on the railway but on the Delhi metros. Okay. Okay, then another PIV, that is PM to also inaugurate a fully operational National Common Mobility Card service on the Airport Express line. Okay, so National Common Mobility Card यहाँ पर हम डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. National Common Mobility Card. What is that? It is a type of one nation one card, which is interportable transport card, would allow the holders to pay for their bus travel, toll taxes, parking charges, retail shopping, and even withdraw money from that. And this card runs on Rupee card. Okay, Common Mobility Card is an interoperable transport card conceived by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs of the India. Okay, NCMC is a indigenous made product and is a part of a Make in India project, and it was first conceptualized in 2006 as a part of National Urban Transport Policy. So the National Common Mobility Card, which will be fully operationalized on, यहाँ पर मोदी जी जो प्रधानमंत्री जो मिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी जी, उन्होंने बोला है कि द नेशनल कॉमन मोबिलिटी कार्ड will be fully organized on Airport Express line and will enable anyone carrying a Rupee debit card issued from any part of the country to travel on the Airport Express line using that card. And this facility will become available on the entire Delhi Metro network by 2022. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, please subscribe our channel. If you want the PDF of this video, you can get it from the description box. Thank you.